The Dechambros are back.
We are back.
This is season 1, episode 19. We are
19 of these bad boys.
19. We are continuing to move forward with season 1 of the Dechambros, and we're continuing to move forward with this season of the majors. Tanner, we have the PGA Championship coming up this week.
Finally, back to a major, back to getting real excited about golf and watching it all weekend long. Here we are.
Well, let's get everyone else excited as well, because I think you have a couple of things written down on where we are this week for the PGA Championship.
Let's get to it. We are at rainy Quail Hollow for the PGA Championship this year.
It is wet out there, man.
It's wild. It's actually going to change quite a few things about the golf course and how it plays too. So let's get right into it. The Quail Hollow Club hosted the 99th PGA Championship in 2017. As everybody knows, that was when Justin Thomas won. And, taking a look at that leaderboard and how the course played then, back in 2017, short game was really important. It reigned supreme those days. But since then, changes have actually been made to the course. So now the long game is going to reign supreme this weekend here. The PGA Championship scorecard measures out at 7,626 yards, and it's going to be playing to a par 71 this weekend. The further you can carry it off the tee, the closer you're going to be to these hole locations. Longer players.
It's math, baby.
Oh, big time. Big maths. When I wrote that down, I was like, they're going to connect. They're going to get it.
Yeah, 1 + 1 = 2.
They're going to think that he's smart. Yeah. I'm going to fool a few more people in my lifetime.
Oh, I love it.
Longer players will have a considerable advantage coming into the championship this week, even before the rain. And as we said, it's rained quite a bit. Wet conditions have only amplified that advantage considerably. So greens will perform like dartboards rather than trampolines. The leaders are going to be able to hit it close and convert some scoring opportunities, hopefully. Carry distance and ball speed are going to be very important this year, where they were a detriment back in 2017. Longer players could not control their rollouts and ended up in difficult lies. Beyond that, the Bermuda grass rough gave guys fits and caused a lot of guessing. In the 2025 version of this championship, players are going to see ryegrass in the rough instead, and they're going to put on Poa Trivialis. I have no idea what those are.
Poa, yeah. Let's just go short form, call it Poa, baby.
The Poas. But the Bermuda grass is dormant around this time of year. Yeah. So the rough isn't going to be playing even quite as hard as it was back in 2017. So, errant long shots aren't going to be as bad this year around. Our champion on Sunday is going to be a great putter. And not just week to week, but year to year, great putter. Quail Hollow Club rewards rolling the rock like no other championship venue does. A common comparison is always made to Augusta National Championship, but kind of in an opposite way. Your Masters winners earns their green jacket almost entirely tee to green. And 95% of the strokes gained by the Masters winners are found outside the flat stick performance. If you shift that analysis to Quail Hollow, that's what we're going to get. The winner's strokes gained split is closer to 60% tee to green and 40% putting. So putting is really important this week. For my research this week, I focused on strokes gained total, driving distance, strokes gained approaching the green, around the green, and putting. And then for those who had a little bit shorter distances, I wanted to take a look at what their iron game was like post 200 yards, just to see, are they pretty accurate after 200? And if so, maybe those short, accurate drives are going to be a benefit. So we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the betting lines this week, Shane. I mean, it's kind of headlined by, in my opinion, the big four, right?
Yeah. I mean, definitely in terms of, I'd say almost the whole season minus one of these guys because he's not playing on the PGA Tour. But this big four has really been dominating the headlines. They've been dominating tournaments. They've been realistically dominating the airtime of this podcast, man, because
for good reason.
Playing that well, like who else can you talk about? And of course, the big four we're talking about: Scottie, Rory, Bryson, and JT, right? So,
and I think that should be 1, 2, 3, 4 in the world ranking, personally.
I mean, 100%. And like when I look at all of the odds, we're going to get to a couple of other players that we have highlighted. But when it comes to, if you were to say, Shane, you pick, your odds out, who do you think is going to win this tournament? it's one of these four guys. It has to be, in my mind.
It's hard to find a winner outside of these four, truthfully. I mean, I've done my best in the sense of taking a look at people that could have, that week. But truthfully, how do you get around? How do you bet outside of that top four, right? I mean, Rory, 4 wins at this course outside of the year he's having, the year of Rory. This is the course of Rory, too.
100%.
Okay. Scottie, even when he has a bad week, is finishing top 10 in majors, just had a runaway victory at, a not so important tournament, but has tasted victory again this year.
The one thing I'll say that kind of worries me a little bit about Scottie, and especially with that preview that you gave for Quail Hollow and who succeeds at this course, obviously the putting, right? And not that, Scottie isn't a great putter. He's not the best putter, and he has those weeks where that putter lets him down, right? And that's the only thing I'd say that kind of gets me where, he is the odds-on favorite at plus 400. Is he going to top 5 it? I'd say for sure, but can he win it if his putter's off? Now, if his putter's on, look out.
Look out. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, right? And
an iron striker like that, the distance he has, look out.
But we could be saying that about anybody, right? Because, realistically, Rory, I think, is a little bit of a longer driver than Scottie and is more accurate off the tee. Even though Scottie's known for being one of the best drivers on tour, Rory's better, right? Bryson, obviously the longest hitter ever.
Averaged over 330 yards a drive this year on the Live Tour, man, dude. I think it's like 332 or something stupid like that.
And the other thing with Bryson, even with it being overseeded rye, he has those one length irons. He has the ability, if he gets it down there further and he even has a wedge in his hands, he has that longer shaft to get more torque down and get through the tough rough. So Bryson is someone who's really, really, really interesting coming into this week as well.
Honestly, I love Bryson this week for a multitude of reasons, including the fact that he wins at really tough courses like the U.S. Opens, right? And never mind that, he's had some really good finishes at the PGA Championship himself, including a second place finish last year, right? So, which led into his win at the U.S. Open. So, there's a lot to like about Bryson's game. There's even a lot to like about JT's game, who
100%.
Two-time PGA champion, won at Quail Hollow
4 times. Right?
It's just insane.
It's a toss-up with between Justin and Rory saying, who owns this course. I'd give a slight edge to Rory, but Justin's right there behind him. Man.
I think the only difference is that Justin's won a PGA championship at Quail Hollow, right? So that's the big important part there. But yeah, those 4, how do you see anything outside of that? It's kind of hard, right? Putting them for top 10 in your parlays, it's going to make somebody happy this weekend.
Yeah. Well, there are a few other players outside of that top 4 that I think there's, you can definitely make a case for them as well, right? And I want to start off by making a case for our guy Xander, right?
Yep.
Now, Xander at plus 2,200 to win. We're just talked about Rory. We just talked about JT, and we just talked about how they perform at Quail Hollow. We talked about this a little bit last week when we were going through our bets in terms of how Xander was going to fare at the Truist Championship. Xander at Quail Hollow, 2nd in 2024, 2nd in 2023, 14th in 2021. He also plays really good golf around this golf course. He knows his way around this course like it's the back of his hand.
Yeah.
His last 4 tournaments, the Valspar 12th, Masters 8th, RBC Heritage 18th, Truist in 11th, broke my heart because I had him as a top 10, one stroke away from me cashing all 3 bets last week. But hey, it happens. To me, I feel like Xander this year, with the slow start that he had, he's kind of fallen out of that limelight of that Fab 4 or, that top 4 that we just went through. But the stars are really aligning well for Xander to come in here and defend his belt, man. He's played great golf the last 4 weeks in a row. He plays great golf. Can't even speak. He plays great golf at Quail Hollow. Xander really, really has my attention as someone who can get it done here.
Yeah, truthfully, his history at this course is really good, right? Like you had said, he's a multi-time major champion. It's hard to discount him, except when you take a look at his finishes this year, I wonder, like, is he back? And so this theme kept coming up in my head as I was discussing players to myself and looking at who to bet, who to fade. And I just kept thinking of, like, for a major champion, it feels like there's a lot more behind their triumph, like before they come, like it's almost like expected, right? Like players that are expected to win these tournaments. And Rory, like, so like thinking about a player like Spieth, who's going for a career Grand Slam, the thought of his career Grand Slam and the thought of Rory's, it's two completely different thought processes, right? Like
100%.
It was a way different situation. His game is just not at a place where I'm like, yeah, he's about to win a major. And that's how I feel about Xander right now, that he just doesn't have that final thing yet. He's just missing something.
You know what I'd argue on that is I would say the exact same thing last year when he knocked 2 majors off. Like, I didn't see that coming. I wasn't watching Xander's game last season going, oh, fuck, he's going to run away with 2 majors this year. Never. And then after he won 1, there was no way I was saying he's going to get a second. Like, it wasn't in the cards for him last year either, right? So I feel like that's kind of been the story of Xander's career. Like, he's always been that guy who's there and hanging around, but doesn't get it done. Last year, he got it done.
It's fair. He did.
I mean, and like you talking about his last 4 finishes, he's got, he has 2 top 20s and almost 2 top 10s. He's 1 stroke away from 2 top 10s. Like, he's playing great golf right now. Like, is he getting wins? No, right? But he's right there, man. He's right there.
And I mean, the finish in the Masters shows you that when it's time to show up, he shows up, right? So, I mean, I could be eating my words and saying that. I just, for some reason, just can't have that faith for some, I don't know, there's just something missing. And I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't get to see his final round at the Masters to see how well he played, but hey.
We're going to keep knocking him all year, man, all year. All right, well, you don't feel good about Xander. Who do you feel good about?
Colin Morikawa.
Colin, again with Colin.
My guy. Listen, so, I mean, we had a big conversation about the caddy change, and it looked to be a good decision in a certain sense, right? He did not have a bad outing. It almost was a disappointing outing again, though, in the sense of after the first few days, seeing where he was on, the leaderboard, and he had a T17 finish, right? So, still, some improvement to go there, but some good signs, right? I think that's kind of a real good, strong start to that relationship there. He's a really accurate iron player. Really, really accurate iron player. He's strokes gained total of 5 on tour. He's got a really short driver distance, actually one of the shorter ones on tour. 293.6 average, which I would love to hit that any day of the week. But that's for 156th on tour average. But his accuracy with the driver is first on tour, and he's 37th on tour, approaching the green 200 yards out. He's 4th overall approaching the green and 11th putting average. So he has the tools to really place at this tournament. And he's had some really good finishes on this season. Again, he hasn't won. He's been a little snake bitten, but I really like Morikawa coming into this week. And, I'm excited to see how he does.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Colin won this back in 2020, back in the COVID days, and that's really kind of, the start of the COVID golfer brand that Colin had, right? Can he get it done when all, the brightest lights are on and all the eyes are on him? I mean, at the PGA Championship, he's kind of up and down. Like 2021, he got T8, 2022, T56, 2023, T26, and last year T4. So he's either right up there in contention or he doesn't show up at all, right? That's kind of the name of the game for Colin here. You did mention, I mean, he's having a great year, and obviously last week I famously faded Colin, and was that a good idea or was it not? You kind of said it yourself. I mean, kind of a disappointing T17, knowing that he was in contention going into the weekend. It kind of makes me say, hey, does he have it right now, or is he still searching for it? Right? I mean, it's a sign, and it's a glimmer of hope for sure, right? I mean, he's got 10 tournaments so far that he's played in this year, 2 T54s and a missed cut. I mean, the missed cut was at the Zurich. Like, I don't know. Does that even count? Like, but it's still, when you look at it, so say out of 9 tournaments, 2 of them he got T54s in, right? Other than that, he's top 20'd every single tournament with a top 10 at the Players and 2 runners-up at the Arnold at the Century. So you're not wrong. Like, Colin is playing great golf this week. I just don't know. Kind of like you said with Xander, I don't see it being the breakout week for Colin being at the PGA Championship.
Well, I mean, in 5 PGA Championships, he's gotten top 10 3 times, which includes that win, right, in 2020, like you're talking about. And the T4 last year, I think he's hungry for more major success. And I think that this change of caddy, like, it just, I don't know. I just see a really hungry player. And so I agree that there's just one thing missing, again, in that scenario. What is it? Hopefully he finds it this week, but I see a hunger in him.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely not making that mistake of fading him again this week. I mean, I don't see a top 10 or top 5 in his future personally, but if you're looking at Colin, I don't know what the odds are. I didn't check him in terms of his top 20, but it might be something to.
Top 20 was a plus 100.
So I mean,
yeah,
if you're looking at someone to add into a parlay, right?
It's not a terrible bet. Yeah.
Who else you got, brother?
So this one is one of my favorite golfers, and I will be very honest with you. He became one of my favorite golfers before I ever saw him hit a golf ball in my life, and it is mainly because he has one of the coolest names on tour, Sepp Straka.
You and your name.
Guy. All right, coming off a fresh and funky win, okay, last weekend here, after he, crushed the hearts of our guy, Shane Lowry, unfortunately.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking for Shane.
He's the newly minted number 2 in the FedEx Cup standings this year after that win. He has 10 top 25s this year. He finished T7 in the 2023 PGA Championship and T8 last time he played at Quail Hollow. Strokes gained total, 5th on tour. He's another accurate but not long driver of the ball. Okay. Really accurate iron game with a strokes gained approach sitting at 2 and number 2 in greens and regulation percentage. So really accurate with the iron. Another one of my thoughts and strategies this week is go with the accurate irons. And he's actually a pretty decent putter as well. Strokes gained putting, he's 35th on tour. So, I'm really excited about Sepp Straka as well, and it's not just because of the name this week.
Yeah, I mean, Sepp's a really interesting one for me. I mean, obviously, like you said, he's coming off that win, heartbreaking defeat for our guy Shane Lowry. Like a really interesting kind of grouping to see come down the stretch there, especially because these guys in my mind, I know obviously Shane's on the team, Sepp should be, right, coming into the Ryder Cup. So 2 guys absolutely battling it out and going, blow for blow coming into the 18th hole here that, we could see paired up with each other playing side by side in a Ryder Cup match. So, I mean, that was really cool to see. But you're not wrong. I mean, like, me, when I take a look at who I'm going to bet, I'm looking at how they're doing this year and how they do previously at this tournament. And Sepp is pulling out like a really sneaky, phenomenal season, man. Like, when I look at it, man, out of 10 tournaments, he's missed the cut twice, okay? His worst finish other than missing the cut was a T28 at the Valspar. Other than that, he's got a 15th at the Waste Management, 11th at the Cognizant, 14th at the Players, 13th at the Heritage, 12th at the Zurich, and obviously his win at the Truist. Like
2 wins this season.
He is putting together an absolute season, man.
Yep.
That being said, his history at the PGA Championship isn't all that great, okay? Last year, he missed the cut. 2023, he contended, finished T7. 2022, 78th. 2020, T66. So my kind of question going into this week is, can Sepp continue the great golf he's playing this year when the lights are the brightest at the PGA Championship? Yeah. And that's my big question, right? Looking at his history with this tournament and looking at his major history, like, can he continue it when the pressure is his highest?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, right? And we're gonna find out this weekend. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. We just talked about that heartbreak for Shane Lowry.
We did.
That's the next guy that I want to talk about because I got my eyes on Shane Lowry this week.
I had a feeling you would.
For sure. I mean, his last 3 tournaments, T2 at the Truist, T12 at the Zurich, T18 at the Heritage, right?
Yep.
All year long, this guy has been cashing me bets anytime I put him in my 20s, 10s, and 5s. It's been a great year for the Shanes, for both of us.
It's been a great year.
Also this year, T8 at the Valspar, 7th at the Arnold Palmer, a T11 at the Cognizant, and he has a second runner-up at the AT&T. So he's playing great golf. He's just kind of another one of those players, like we said with Colin. He's just missing one little piece to get him over that edge and get him into the winner's circle this week. His history at the PGA Championship, last year T6, 2023 came in 12th, 2022 23rd, and 2021 he was runner-up. He came in second. So, I mean, to me, this is a guy who is playing his best golf, right? He's coming into a major tournament that he historically plays well at, right?
Yep.
I think this is another one where I say, am I confident that we're going to see Shane Lowry win this tournament? Not really, but he is a phenomenal pick to be able to throw in, a top bet,
20.
especially if you're trying to build some odds and get a parlay going for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love Shane Lowry, right? And it's weird. So I'll give you my brain's perspective of Shane Lowry's season so far and tell me where I'm wrong in this. So in the beginning of the year, I felt like his top 20s that were cashing for us were not surprises, but like he was finishing in those places. Like he played his way into that finish.
Right.
Okay. To end the year so far, including and maybe starting at the Masters, his top 20s where he was losing to get to the top 20s. Like he was in contention and then he had real horrible days. And yes, he finished top 20 and we won the bet, but it was like he wasn't winning his way into top 20. He was losing his way into the win of the top 20.
Yeah.
That's a weird thought process for me when I'm betting. But then hearing all of the stats you just lay out and then hearing what I'm about to say, I'm like, how do you not bet him for top 20, right? Strokes gained total, 4th on tour. Another short driver, 295 average for 144th on tour, but 32nd driving accuracy, 8th approaching the green, 55th putting average, right? He's a solid golfer.
Yep.
It's just where's his golf game at right now and that weird thought process I just kind of walked through.
So to me, the interesting part on that is I only take that as a positive. And it's going to be weird for me to say it that way, but kind of let me get this thought out of my head.
Yeah.
What that shows to me is that Shane Lowry has changed his floor, right? So when he's playing his way into these top 20s and then getting himself a top 10 here and there, that's playing into his ceiling, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
When he's losing his way into the top 20s means that he's playing his worst golf, but he's still getting that top 20. So he's just taken his floor to top 20, which means what's his ceiling look like? That's where I look at it going, it's exciting to me that Shane is playing well enough that when he's playing bad golf, he's top 20.
I like what you did there.
That's my guy. I got you back, Shane.
Yeah, Jesus. All right. Well, love that. I'm actually looking at a few fades this week. Well, one in particular, and it's a little bit of a common name mainly, and I kind of brought it up earlier, but because of the whole, looking for another career Grand Slam on this season thing. So we got Justin Spieth, right?
Justin Spieth? His name's Jordan, Tanner.
Oh boy. Well, Justin is now his name. Okay, so Justin Spieth, Jordan Spieth, looking for his own career Grand Slam, right? But at a course where he hasn't really had success before. His best finish at this course would have been in 2017 with a T28. He has had success this year, albeit not having a win. But we've seen glimpses of Justin Spieth playing.
You wrote Justin.
I did both times. Both times. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Playing good golf, right? So 4 top 20s in his last 5 starts, right? But when you look at a career Grand Slam chase, like I said it a little bit earlier, we just saw it with Rory, and boy, that just felt a whole lot different. His golf game was different. The opportunity to win it was different. The only difference as far as like our negatives were, will he collapse? And he almost did, right? Getting it into a playoff there. It's just the Spieth career Grand Slam is a great story, but it's a story of fiction, not fact.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I mean, with Jordan hunting the career Grand Slam.
You almost did it there. You almost did Justin almost. Come on.
Fuck out of here. With Jordan hunting the career Grand Slam, like that, the storybook of that, you could technically have Rory hit his career Grand Slam. You could have Jordan hit it at the PGA. You could have Phil do it at the US. Like, you could have 3 career Grand Slams happen this year. Would be phenomenal to watch. I don't see it happening either. I mean, like you said, Jordan has given us these kind of glimpses and these shimmers of hope so far this season that he's coming back into his form. I mean, he's got 2 fourth-place finishes at the Waste Management and the CJ Cup, 3 top 20s in a row with the Valero, the Masters, and the RBC Heritage. T34 last week at the Truist, so not the best kind of finish again, right? But, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, he's giving me that hope that he has the possibility of coming back, but I in no way, shape, or form would say that Justin's back. I would agree 100%. Fade. Did I say Justin?
You did.
Fucking
yes.
shit.
Yes. You guys see that? Let's go.
See what you did. See what you did. I mean, I don't see it either. I mean, if you're trying to bump up a parlay and get a top 20 out of Jordan and try and get that extra, like, I even think that's a bit of a long shot. Like, I think there's better players out there that you could do that with. But yeah, I would be fading Jordan Spieth right with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a year away from him being back and having some contention. It almost felt like last year you saw glimpses at a JT, and then to start the year, those glimpses continued, and you saw amazing days. And then
is that Jordan Thomas, Tanner?
Yeah, maybe.
I got a guy that I'm fading this week too, and this one is kind of going to be a hot take, just like my Colin Morikawa was, because he is in the top 5 of the odds in terms of being a favorite to win this tournament. At plus 1,800, Jon Rahm is my fade of the week. So, I mean, John has been playing great golf, right? I mean, on the LIV Tour, he has not finished outside of the top 10 since moving over to that tour. What exactly does that mean? Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of the hard part for me, right? If you look at his major history since leaving for LIV, T45 at the Masters, miscut at the PGA, 7th at the Open, okay?
Yep.
He did not play the US Open, and then T14 at the Masters this year, okay? So he doesn't have the worst, but he doesn't have the greatest finishes in terms of coming back and competing with the best of the best again, okay? His history at the PGA. So since he played his first PGA Championship in 2017, he has 2 top 10s. He missed the cut twice, and his next best finish is a T13 in 2020. Other than that, he's been very, very mediocre. So again, playing great golf on LIV, not playing such great golf in terms of the majors, never really played all that great golf here at the PGA Championship either. His last 3 appearances at the PGA Championship is a T48, a T50, and a missed cut. So for me, like, I see John as a great player, but I don't see his top 10 streak as a very impressive feat on the LIV Tour. Like, I would find it extremely impressive on the PGA Tour, but I don't think that translates over coming into the major season this year.
No, it does. It definitely doesn't. I mean, when Jacqueline Neiman is the #1 golfer in the world from your tour, I mean, that's saying a lot in a certain sense against the skill level that's there, right? And just the format of that tour, right? And truthfully, it feels like Jon Rahm when he left the tour, he was on a high, like number one in the world.
For sure.
Was like, how's this guy going to lose? He's going to go over there and dominate. And he hasn't really done that. And it just begs the question of his, you know, like, what are his motivations in a certain sense? And like, you'd think as far as major tournament time, like motivation should be sky high for every single golfer, no matter what your bank account looks like. But like you said, since he's made that transition, he hasn't shown up in major season. And, you know, it's disappointing. I love Jon Rahm. I love the story. I love a lot about it. It's just I don't have any confidence in putting any money on him this weekend either. Honestly, He was my other fade.
100%. Sure. I love me some Jon Rahm.
I
do not love me some Jon Rahm this week.
No. Yeah.
So, beauty. Well, hey, before we get to our actual picks for the week, just want to take a break. If you guys have made it this far into the podcast, thank you so much for sticking around with us. We appreciate and we love every single one of you. If you want to show your support, please do a quick subscribe, like
and subscribe.
Share this podcast with your friends. We're just two brothers that love talking about golf and love getting to do it for you guys every single week. With that being said, let's get into the bets of the week, Tan.
Let's go.
I'm going to start us off. I'm going to go with my top 20 bet of the week. At plus 145, I have my guy, Shane Lowry.
Yep.
For all the reasons I've said before, Shane Lowry has been an absolute top 20 cash cow for me so far this season. He's having one of the best seasons of his year. He's not playing well enough for me to have confidence that he's going to win this week.
Yep.
But his floor is a top 20, and we're going to see that again out of him this week.
Yeah, I mean, I almost picked him for my top 20 as well, but, you know, I figured you were going to, right? Following a lot of the trends that we've got going, right? I think he's probably one of the safest picks for a top 20. And it was either him or who I had here at top 20, Mr. Sepp Straka.
Love it.
At plus 200 odds for a top 20 finish, right? We already went over it. He's won twice this year, including last weekend. He's riding high, 10 top 25s this year. Finished T7 in the 2023 PGA Championship and T8 last time he played Quail Hollow. I like where his game's at right now. Coming off of a win, I'm very excited and think that, you know, both of these should cash as top 20s.
Yeah, I absolutely love that pick, especially because, you know, we always talk about that win hangover, right? It's tough to go out there 2 weeks in a row and get that dub. Top 20, that being said, is going to be something that I think he's going to be able to carry that momentum in and get for sure. Looking at the season he's had so far and how he plays going into Quail Hollow, absolutely love that bet as well.
Yeah.
What do you got for 10, Tan?
All right. So for my top 10 bet, I've got Colin Morikawa. I was going to go reach into the top 4, right? And then it felt like I wanted to chase a few odds, at least with one of my picks, right? And I said it earlier, I like where Colin's game is at. I like that he's hungry right now, for more. And I think this is a good course to showcase, some of his skills. And I have him at plus 240 for the top 10. I mean, he's done it 3 times out of 5 tournaments in the PGA Championship. Can he make it 4 out of 6?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that pick at all either. We've talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. Like, Colin Morikawa is one of the best ball strikers on tour. And with you kind of saying, he's a little bit shorter off of the tee than anybody, but he's better with those long irons as well. So really I don't think that that's really going to affect him this week coming in. I don't mind that pick at all. Obviously, he's, a one-time PGA Championship winner. Let's see if he can do it again.
Let's see it.
For 10, Tanner, I have our guy, JT.
Oh, I love it.
We talk about absolute horses for courses. Justin has won at Quail Hollow 4 times in his career. This is one of his favorite places to play. He's coming into this tournament in one of the best seasons that we've seen Justin Thomas play. At plus 170, Justin Thomas was an easy pick for a top 10 for me this week.
Absolutely love it. Like, honestly, so far out of our, it just feels like all of them are going to hit. All the stars are lining up for it to be, a really good possibility for that. Love the pick. Love Justin Thomas this year. Solid odds for a top 10 too. Solid odds. All right. So because I can see your screen, I want to do something here, all right? Last time for Masters, I did one of those crazy Twitter rabbit hole tweet things that told you all those stats and this, that, the other, and they were correct in the sense that they predicted Rory to win it. I did that again. I have a crazy tweet for you, and I just want to read it out, okay?
Oh, I'd love it.
So, and I think it's kind of, take a look at who I got here, right?
Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away.
Of course you saw that coming a mile away here. But this right here, I had it preloaded. Oh, of course it's already going to back up, but I know exactly where it is because I saved it. All right, so for this, the PGA Championship, all PGA prior championships winners have had 5+ PGA Tour wins leading into the championship. They've had 6+ top 10s in majors leading in. They've all had a previous top 2 finish in a major. They've all finished T21 or better in the Masters before their win, so this season's Masters. They all ranked top 50 in driving distance entering the event. And as soon as you enter that into the equation, it leaves only 3 players, Rory, Bryson, and Jon Rahm. All had gained 1+ strokes off the tee in at least one of their last 5 events entering the PGA Championship. All had gained +4 strokes approaching the green in at least one of their last 6 events. All had gained 2+ strokes around the green at least once in their last 5 events. By this time, we're only left with Rory and Bryson. All have gained 2+ strokes putting in at least one of 5 events before the PGA Championship. And once again, it leaves only Rory and Bryson. So basically, both of us here, we have Rory and Bryson in our top 5s. I'm going to start with my top 5 of Bryson at +162. Last 4 PGA Championship finishes, a second, a T4, a T38, and then a T4 again. Last 5 majors, a T5 at the Masters. He missed the cut at the Open. Much different course.
Oh, yeah. Much different golf.
Yeah. First at the U.S. Open. PGA Championship, he had the second, a T6 at the Masters the year before. He's a big-time player in big-time games. He's a top 3 player in the world, and he's about to show us why he's not number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that Bryson pick. I was toying with it myself, and ultimately, like you kind of alluded to, I have Rory McIlroy as my top 5, and those were the 2 that I was bouncing back against, and I really think we're gonna have another kind of Bryson versus Rory finish in the major. Now, obviously, in the Masters, it went a little bit of a different way, more veering towards my side of things with Rory. But my pick for Rory ultimately came down to his history at this course and his momentum going into this tournament. I mean, he is completely freed up coming into the rest of this season. He has the monkey off his back by winning the Masters and kind of setting up with Quail Hollow for the PGA, with Oakmont for the U.S. Open, where he plays well as well, right? And then going back home across the pond for the actual Open. Like, I'll say it, man. It's really, really gearing up for a fucking Grand Slam season for Rory. It is the year of Rory. This is the course of Rory. I think that I would be an absolute idiot if I picked anyone else other than Rory. I mean, at -110 odds, he's almost even money. It's a little bit of a safer bet, I'd say, me picking Rory over Bryson. But I think that has to do with Bryson's recent kind of, fumble at the Masters more than anything. So for me, I think that Rory has proven that he's able to get this thing done on Sunday now. I mean, Bryson's done it in the past. Can he do it this year? Only time will tell, Tim.
Hey, I am super excited for this tournament. I cannot wait to watch the entire thing.
This is the first time, too. I love all 6 picks. Usually I have some hate for some of yours, but, I love it.
Literally, I can find a way to have that win, right? Like each one of them, same as yours. So, yeah, I think we're in for a good weekend this year, and hopefully, if you guys followed some of our advice, you guys are in for a good weekend as well.
There you go.
All right.
Happy PGA Championship week, guys.
Love you, Bryson.